All right. This screen needs to change. This one. Oh, there we go. Oh, actually that laptop should be that. Video capture is that one. Okay. So today we are going to be looking at LangChain. So protoflow is coming along pretty well. There's some errors right now. Oh, yeah, because the services aren't running. But anyway, can pull that up later. File open. Document. Nope. Don't open. File open. Documents. GitHub. LangChain. New window. Minimize. Bring this up. Bring up the README. Just show me the README actually. So, question is, what is LangChain? So if you've had, unless you've had your head under a rock for the past few months, AI is kind of a big deal. There's a lot of stuff happening. And so what I'm interested in doing is see how many people you can teach about AI and what it's capable of doing. So I think a great place to start, actually, let's just go back to the beginning. Let's screw this LangChain stuff. Let's actually understand what AI is doing. I've realized that I just apparently use chatgpt so differently than most people. Like I use it like all the time, every day, and I always find it interesting when people say that they haven't used it every day. It's kind of strange to me. Actually, I should totally make this like a poll or something, like just how often do you use it? Okay. So this is something that someone has said before, is that it's sometimes buggy on login. Okay, yeah. I don't know what the hell I was doing there. Okay, so so yeah, of all of these things, and I guess maybe it would help to just kind of go back and just talk about why these. Let's make this full screen. What's that command? Maximize, and then how do you make bigger? Make big plus. Oh, there you go. Yeah. And minus. Yeah, let's just talk about actually ChatGPT for a second, because it's been a long time since I had talking about it. So this thing that I asked, tell me about the kernel by islands in Canada. So this was a conversation that I was having while I was in Canada for the past like 2 weeks, and there's like some history with what kernel by island was, and actually I should probably have the chat for the YouTube stream up. Where is it? Oh, hi Quiet, how are you? Let me share my screen so you can see what I'm looking at. Actually, Quiet, you're perfect. Did you see what I was just talking about? Do Do you know how to use the chat? Quiet. Do you know how to use the chat over on the right? It's like a really small thing. I think I can actually just bring my Discord thing over and show you. Whoops. Whoopsie. That, and then Discord. What the fuck? Where'd the chat go? Oh, it hides it in streamer. Disable that. So yeah, this chat thing. Do you see this? I don't know if you're looking at the screen or not. Oh, you are. Okay. So do you see the chat? So if I type like this, like you can see that. Okay, sweet. I'm just like, this multi-screen setup is actually like quite annoying. Like that I have for like this stuff. Oh, maybe this is nice. Having a Mac is so much better. For like streaming and stuff like that, because I'm able to do is like just so much more. It feels like, at least for streaming. I still miss my Arch setup. Arch was so nice. But anyway, let's talk about kernel by island. So this is a story about kernel by islands in Canada, and so I was having a conversation about him, and this is what it gave me. And what I remember reading through the stuff. And usually what I'll do, so I'll have my phone. Where's my phone is hooked up. I have this other view that I can switch to using the Stream Deck. So if I go, boom, other camera angle, and I don't have a button hooked up for that. That's not it. I need another one set up for this view. Actually, wait, I should be able to do that. Configure. And then I want to set, this is actually a great thing. I really like the Stream Deck. So I want to set an OBS Studio command for a, yes, quiet, you found the chat. Nice. Oh shit, that's right. I also wanted Journey to pull open the YouTube chat. YouTube. This is great. Quiet, do you like my second camera setup? You'll lose access to my voice. What do you mean you're gonna lose access to your voice? Oh. I see. Yeah, you're probably gonna lose your voice. Yeah, right. Shit, what was I trying to do? Oh, the chat. This is kind of annoying with the chat. Oh, I also have my, oh shit. I have like heavily modded. So I've been using this browser Arc, and it's freaking fantastic because I can do things like just change the site. So yeah, you can do a new boost. And so look at this. So this is insane. So you can change the color of the page with your boost. You can change the font that it uses. I guess that's night mode settings. You can change the contrast, brightness, like all of this stuff, which is so nice because certain sites are like kind of fucked, right? You know, like visually fucked. Like I distinctly remember, oh yeah, wait, let's see if I can find this. This is a how I hacked your website Medium. Let's see if I can find it. Well, anyway, there's this Medium post that was just straight green and it was always so jarring to pick up. But if you could have a screen like this, where you're like changing the way that it works, like super easy. Oh, and then zap, right? So it's like, if you don't want the description for the video to ever show up on any page, boom, zap this, boom, it's gone. And now anytime you load the page, so it's like you're writing JavaScript, right? Because to do the JavaScript to write this is actually super simple. But let's see, what else do we want to zap? No more. Yeah, I don't want any of this. But then you can select like related elements by moving this. So you're just kind of like walking the DOM probably, like boom, like once you get to this point, like you see how all of those elements can go away. So boom, they're gone, like all things like that. And so the selector that you're building is actually robust enough to support that. So that's like, I don't know, it's a pretty cool feature. And then of course you can write like any CSS or JavaScript. So like background white. No, that's a bad one. Oh no, shit. How do you write it? I don't know. I've been caught. I don't actually know how to write CSS. Background color aqua. Yeah. Oh, but our contrast and everything's so fucked. So we got to change it back. Yeah. Brightness. Oh, and then the color, it's all nasty now. But anyway, you should get the idea from all that is like you can change anything you want with these boosts. Oh, how do you remove them? Not my boost. This cursed. Oh, sweet. Oh, right. Okay, so I have this unhooked based off of Chrome extension. So I basically completely was able to replicate an entire Chrome extension using just the Arc browser, which is super, super nice. And getting a lot of bad ideas. Wait, so quiet. Like, do you use a Mac? I have invites. So currently right now it's invite only, and I can oh no. Did the stream just end? Oh, I updated it. I see. I'm on the honeypot. Oh, you got a honeypot? I'm so late. Pop out chat. There's so much to get set up when you're doing a stream. It's actually like really annoying. Oh wait. Oh, I can just do this. And then this one is I pull up ChatGPT again. How do I get rid of this thing? Okay, I guess it's just gonna stay over there. So cool. So if you comment in the YouTube thing, you can show up on the stream. So an incentive to use YouTube, I guess, if I ever have any actual viewers. Let's see. Okay, so streaming presumably still working. So anyway, I never actually set up that Stream Deck thing. Can just in the process of doing that. No, not OBS. I want where's it? Configure? Yeah. Okay, so OBS Studio, and then I want scene. So the scene is going to be normal, I guess. And that's just going to be desktop. All right, well, yeah, normal. So now, let's see if we do this. So I want to show you what I'm going to be doing for my Stream Deck. And because I have the phone set up, right, that guy, I can swap it with that. So there you go. So now I can show you. When I'm pressing this one, and then it's going to switch to that. Bounce, 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 bounce. That's sick. That's nice. So anyway, back to AI. So, okay, so this was an interesting conversation. So out of context, these are actually quite funny. Are there any conditions that a pilot is allowed to open the door to the cockpit? You don't see anything on my screen? Oh, because I'm not, sorry, quiet. I'm not sharing my screen on Discord. There we go. You can see it now, right? Nice. Okay, so AI. So this is like super funny, like out of context. But there was like a question, like in some conversation that came up about like the security, of like the cockpit, like since 9/11, like what had changed. And so literally like during that conversation, just like I'm like ChatGPT, whipped it out, like typed it out. And so a lot of these too, I dictate. So I'll like talk and I'll just like say, actually, I can totally use, I guess, fuck it. I can totally use my iPhone as like something that you can just easily record. Like Max made that like super easy. I was going to show like the chat GPT. I should probably do that. Let's figure it out. Because the chat GPT phone app is actually really nice. They've done a pretty good job with it. So I need to go to this. I'm going to add a video capture. And the device is... No, it's not that. What do I want here? Add a VLC screen capture. Come on, I've totally done this before. Yeah, right. Like you have to open the door in an emergency, but the question. Oh, that's right. We were wondering actually. This would be a nice follow up question. What happened during the 9/11 thing? 9/11 terrorists attack in the cockpit, because we were wondering like did someone get into the cockpit? Like was there not a rule to prevent someone from doing that? There was a struggle in the cockpit, but like how did they... and so what I'll follow up with is on the... Whoops. Did I not copy it? Am I failing at copying? So the system was subverted. There is a quiet part. Subverted. During 9/11, what happened? Did the pilots open the cockpit, or was it forced opened? Whatever protocol, social or otherwise, that would have prevented unauthorized access to the cockpit. It was not opened by the pilots. Instead, they breached it by force. After hijackers they secured the cockpit and prevented the flight crew from accessing. Yeah, so that was the question. So, yeah. So basically, it's really hard to take over an airplane unless you breach the door. So if you prevent all means that someone's able to breach, like whatever door, like the plane's gonna be fine because there was like some details. So I was talking to someone who was a pilot, and they were like, yeah, the plane should have just returned right back to the airport. But they couldn't because of the breaching. So, but is the TSA, so this is another question. Is the TSA really, what is it? So you have to ask a question that won't elicit the bias from ChatGPT, because it's easy to do that if you were to say like, is the TSA any good? Is the TSA any good? And then it's going to give you an opinionated thing. See, that's like bullshit. That's corporate bullshit. What you really need, you need to ask a good question. This is the thing. It's like you can't just say anything to ChatGPT. You have to ask it a good, well-formulated question. And so, really, what I want to see is how, what is the success rate of the TSA stopping dangerous items from passing through security. And so this one might not get it, but we might be close. You might start to see it's like cracks. See various measures. See, this is like bullshit. Oh, it doesn't publicly disclose it. Okay, so maybe we need to dig in deeper on this one. Oh no. I do. Did I close it? I keep accidentally hitting stuff. The Mac stuff is just like different. Oh wait, oh, I didn't. There you go. Anyway. Yeah, so I wonder what happens if you jailbreak. Okay, so now I guess in this like ad hoc like lesson here, it's like we've used ChatGPT. We're digging into like the TSA, and we started off just like with this question about like flight or something like that. So this is another good example. I didn't know about the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, and this was like another conversation I had. And so I just asked it, can you explain me how this works? Now, if I were to ask the same question on Google, now this is the thing that just blows my mind of like, why aren't people using it right now? So look at this. So if I ask the same question on Google, I'm now going to have to, I'm clicking on a link. I'm already clicking on a link. The first link, which seemed to be from a prestigious thing, it's like literally FISA courts, whatever. I'm on here. Now, how do I learn more about it? That's not bad. But then it's like, what follow-up do I have? I now have to like go back to where I was. And now what am I reading? I'm like epic.org. Like, and now I'm beholden to like however long that page takes to load. This one's pretty good. Usually if I want to learn about something though, like I'm going to have to at least add Wikipedia. And that's going to give me probably the best level of information density that I can get. So once I'm on Wikipedia, usually I can do it like pretty easily. And actually I know that free is just a Wikipedia like God. Like he opens up like everything and just like it's all Wikipedia and just uploads it to my mind or his mind. But what really makes me interested in this stuff is it kind of feels like you're uploading something like Matrix style to your brain, you know, like you go to Wikipedia and it's like, boom, I now know about Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Like, boom, the Wikipedia stored in your mind. But my mind does not work like that. I can't just read Wikipedia because it's not entertaining. But what is entertaining, interesting is like the fact that I could change this so that it's with Pokemon examples. Like, I don't even know if this will work, but like, yeah, this is kind of like lame. You would have to make a better prompt. So yeah, okay. So now we're introducing like prompt engineering. So let's say I really wanted to have let's start a new one. Let's say I really wanted to learn about stuff using Pokemon examples. So anytime I ask a question, it acts out like a scene from Pokemon. So you can say it. You are a prestigious writer for the show Pokemon, as well as an enthusiast for Wikipedia. You love, and I might mess up this prompt, but we're trying here. You love answering questions that people have about. Am I on the right track with this one? You love answering questions that people have about different concepts from Wikipedia, and and when asked, will respond to the question by acting out a scene from the show Pokemon. You will now start answering questions. But first, make sure you greet us on our journey into the world of information. All right, so here we go. We're gonna be guided through the world of information with Pokemon examples. So, what do we want to learn about? What is Discord? Discord, a digital realm where trainers gather to connect and communicate. Imagine a bustling Pokemon Center, but in the virtual world. Discord is a popular communication platform that allows trainers from all over to join communities, engage in conversations, and coordinate their Pokemon adventures. Let me set the scene for you. Our young protagonist, Ash Ketchum, is exploring a vibrant city, searching for Pokemon battle. He hears about a local Pokemon Discord server where trainers gathered to share their knowledge and challenge each other. Curious, Ash decides to join in. So we're learning about Discord, but as a high level overview of the story of some Pokemon show. Interesting. I want to know more about how our legal system works in the US. All right, so now we're gonna get a story about is it gonna get it? I'm gonna be kind of surprised if it gets it. Join our courts, laws, and the pursuit of truth. Our scene begins in the heart of a bustling city where a young trainer named Brock has found himself caught in a legal predicament. Accused of Pokemon theft, Brock seeks justice within the American legal system. I want to just turn these into shows. Let's do it. Wait, okay, so now Okay, so now quiet. We have this thing. Now we need to make another guy. And this guy is going to be capable of, you are a TV producer. You are a TV writer and producer who takes overarching ideas about shows and converts them into transcripts with specific scenes and dialogues. You will take what start accepting ideas and writing transcripts. I think so. What I want this to do. So now I start with this, right? This guy is generating my TV shows. And so now once I have these overarching ideas of TV shows, I can now write something that writes the dialogue for it. So now all you have to do, so if you want to turn this into an actual show, right, you cast for Brock, you write me a casting. We make another guy here who's like casting. You are a casting director. Write me when you see characters for or in a transcripts, you find or you write casting details that someone can use to cast a role. Start accepting characters or transcripts or something. I don't know. I'm kind of bullshitting this one a little bit. All right, so now that we have this, so if I copy this transcript, oh God, it wrote me so much. So I just take this transcript, and then it should find like Brock and Judge, I think. Yeah, so Brock, so early 20s male, determined and slightly nervous. See, I've never hired someone before, but like, this is a great point. Judge. But anyway, so yeah, so we have these like filter functions, and like if you compose these together and pipe them through. So this is like everything that I've been building for with protoflow is like you have these concepts, you could have LLMs as reasoning engines, like blocks that you can put on a graph, a workflow thing, and then you can like connect them through, and then as information goes through them, they're just information generators. Like that's all that LLMs are. But you have to and it's like the simplest way, it's like the simplest thing. You can just toss anything at it and it will convert that information. So you'll always have that as like a fallback. So if all you can do is just write English, you can write code now, right? I can literally just talk like, I think on Mac I can do like this control. Write me a app that, no, so what you would want to start here with if I want to make an app idea, and this is where it comes down to the right question. So you still need to figure out what the right question is. Come on. I don't know how to write an app for an idea that I have, but I want to make it. tell me all of the details that I need to make my app come to life. So let's start with that. Come on. You can do it. No, you can do it. Come on. Here you go. So this is step one. So you need to understand the higher level idea of what you're doing. And then once you go in deeper, conduct market research. Like that's reasonable, but like I just want like, I guess so for me, I know that to make an app you need to write code. So this is insight that I have. So I can now ask the question, write me the Python code for a server that accepts Twilio's API, or that uses Twilio's API to send text messages to people every time an endpoint is hit. Oh, let's see if write me the Python code for a server, that accepts Twilio. No, that uses Twilio's toilet, uses Twilio's API to send messages to people every time an endpoint is hit. Sure. So there, like, boom, like it's already using Flask, right? Because it's Python. It knows that. And so, like, look at that. Like, that's send SMS, like, boom. Like, it might not work, but, like, damn, like, that's going to be pretty close. And all I needed to do was have this understanding, right? I needed... You can start with here, which is, like, super high up, but you're going to have to do some digging, right? Right. I'm sure if you let this finish, then you can like get those details to know that it's code. But if you're an expert, and this is a case, actually. So this is a great point here. All right, I'm going to take some, I need to hydrate before I go on this rant. Okay. So if you're unsure about your longevity as a coder, it's like this is the case in point right here. Think about all of the details that goes between this. So as the consumer, right, someone who wants to build an app, to this, and this is the current way that we write code, right? We have to start with this. We have to start, right, knowing that it's Python, knowing about Twilio's. Like maybe we can say here, like maybe it will use Twilio. Okay, so it does use Twilio, so that's pretty nice, actually. Yeah, actually, let's see how dumbed down we can make this. Write me code for a server. Yeah, so not even Python. It does use Python. That's pretty interesting. Okay, well, this actually leads me to another important point about how I use ChatGPT that I see other people don't using it with. So when people use ChatGPT, as far as I've seen, they keep asking questions. They start with one question and then they'll go to another, and it doesn't matter. Like if you can like tell me something random about octopuses. we just broke ChatGPT. So what it does, I think what it does use, if they'll see like, oh, these are like wide variety of things. Like I guess that happens sometimes, but like I don't care about that. But then if I ask, tell me about, let's extend this. Let's just use this. It's not going to tell me something about octopuses now. Like it knows that. But like people will like just toss these questions in and then they'll like go to like a new chat because it's like, oh, no, I have octopuses in the context. Like, no. you can just keep referencing the previous content. Like, what else do we need? So we wrote the Python code. Oh, JavaScript code. Right? I want my site to have a front end. Write me the site for the Python code. Okay. Oh, okay, so it's telling me to do a Flask renderer. Cool. So boom, it got it. That's killer. And now you can just like copy it in. So yeah, like LLMs are like, they're like the real deal. Like you can do a lot of shit with this. But so, okay, so my point, there's nothing about octopuses. It's still new about this. It's not influencing it, but it's just something that like I'll see people do. So I like to use my chat things as long as possible. I guess sometimes, I don't know. It doesn't really matter all that much, but the point stands that like it doesn't matter in here. It doesn't affect the context all that much about what you're going to do after. But anyway, there was something I was doing here. So question, but you can step to the side. So you can, every time you edit, you can actually change the, change like the information you're seeing. So, or the train of thought, I guess, is how I mentally think of it. It's like, this is my train of thought, but if I edit this question up here, that was my train of thought, like for that. And then for this, it's like, I don't know, whatever. But what's really interesting about this is that this is another thing I don't see people doing, going back and editing their questions. Now, editing a question is a completely legitimate tactic while using chatgpt. And what I like about it is like I have evolutions of thought. You know, I thought this was maybe the way to ask it, but then I wanted to change it, and then I wanted to change it more. And look, every time I was refining that question, but it still let me see like all of this information I was exploring. The point that I'm trying to build up to with this is that LLMs are a fantastic learning tool. And unfortunately, I think the way that the UX is for interacting with them, it's not conducive, not quite conducive enough for more exploratory, more long form views of information. Right now, it's like, you know, you can get quick quips of information, but we're really on the brink of a massive explosion of like composing our ideas in this space. Like, right, we ask these random questions, and I really don't feel like this is an insane thought, but it's like every time we ask these questions and we find this information, why can't we now start reaching more into the real world through stuff like code? Like you can talk and have your app like exist. Like imagine if I trained LLMs on like higher collections of like, I don't know, I guess if you train an LLM on what to answer for this type of question, and so stuff will get better. I don't know. I'm not quite sure of the future of what the fine tuning whole looks like, but at least right now we have a powerful thing in our hand that's amazing for tasks that are not in your like hot path for a user. So just making a chatbot for this, like you're basically building on an API with well-known like outage problems. Like maybe those, I mean, I'm assuming those will improve over time, hopefully, if openai can figure that out. But yeah, everyone's focused on chat apps right now, but it's just not it. You know, that it's just not the idea that's going to stick around, at least for the short term, in my opinion. Like what people are really going to want, in my opinion, is the thing that I'm building. In my own humble, unbiased opinion, an asymmetric response might be needed. What do you mean by that? Oh, yes. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. This is great. It would actually be really helpful if I really need to find an editor for this stuff, because I would love if someone could just like clip it from my stream, and like as I'm having the stream, someone just like slices. YouTube has an okay version of that, but in my opinion, Twitch has it a lot better, which is like annoying because I just want my content to stay on one thing on YouTube. But yeah, maybe I'll make a splicing app in protoflow. So like you can like press a button, and like on my stream deck I could say like clip the past 5 minutes, and then yeah, you like have the integrations into it to make that clip and like auto upload it or something like that. Man, dude, protoflow is gonna be so sick. I'm so excited. Oh man, dude, quiet. Oscar is gonna be like, he's gonna be insane. Quiet, you're going to have the most capable auto GPT thing if you use like protoflow. Like once I get that working, that's going to be like full on sentience, man. Oscar's going to be like calling so many like APIs. He's going to start like using Domino's to like order pizzas to the house, and you're going to have to like retrain him. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. Let's see. I need to pull up protoflow right now. Oh man, you know, but I started this. I need to talk about LangChain. You know, I need to look at LangChain's code. Humor is a gift. Yeah. What do we got here? Okay, so yeah. So basically we've mapped out through this short time that I have with you. We mapped out the reason why you as an expert should not be worried, because you still have to know this, and then you're going to have to take this and now add more endpoints. Like, yeah, there's going to be an AI there, but it's like, it's not going to write correct code. You're still going to have to test. If anything, it's going to put way bigger of an importance on everything else that comes with coding. So if you're not a good writer of tests, and like knowing what to test, like thinking through the code, like, yeah, you're just gonna have to write it. Also, there's so much code. There's so many different things. Like, developers do complicated things. I always just found it nonsense when people were like scared about AI. It's just like, no, get good at using it. It's a tool. It's like, it kind of feels like people scared of the hammer because now people with big fists can't like punch the ground anymore. It's like, oh no, like hammers, they're going to ruin my job of pounding shit. But like, no, it's a tool. I don't get it. I don't get why people are so scared of a tool. If anything, it's going to be like the really menial jobs, the jobs that people knew were menial, but like took too long to like do anything about it. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, we're insane shit going on. Now LangChain, right? I have to talk about LangChain because it's an extension off of these ideas that I'm building up to. It's like, you have all of this capability. Now, how do you harness it? Because what we're looking at is straight text. It's like, and it's text because that's the easiest thing to really kind of capture like human thinking. Like you can't train it on video very well and like have it generate videos. It's like audio, it's like okay. But like text, it's like you can fit so much information into so much and train it because of like how the way AI works with like matrices and stuff. Still going to recommend everyone. This is really important. I think for the future of society, people need to know how this stuff works. And by far the best thing that I keep coming back to as a recommendation is this playlist. This is by far if you watch this playlist, in my opinion, you've taken like a college level course. It's insane. It builds up such a fundamental mental model so well. And it took me a few times watching it to really understand. And I think it's time for a rewatch. But this fourth one, so the first three talk about like the founding principles of neural networks. You have like the layers, and then you have like the hidden layers and the perceptron. Like it builds up the intuition incredibly, incredibly well. And then the fourth one is so cool because it's like just for the people that understand the math behind it. It goes through and like clearly shows how all the math works. And I really appreciated that. And it also like made me feel such a privilege to have had this in high school. But like I knew the math. Yeah, we need to document this. I need to send this out. I need everyone to watch this. I'm going to put this on breadcrust.com. We're going to have a post. Chat. Boom, chat, that playlist. And then we go, boom, chat. Highly recommend. Can't recommend it more. It's like, in my opinion, anyone in coding, like the most important video for you to at least watch once. Because it's going to reframe, in my opinion, the whole way you think about AI. Because it's not that scary. There's not that much going on. But I realized I just so happened to have all the prerequisite knowledge. Now, but then here we go. This is how like fully online learning experience for how AI works. You can go to Khan Academy, and Khan Academy will get you up to speed with the math concepts that you need. If you go to linear algebra, I think is the most that you would need. Differential, integral. I think you need. Do you need to know integrals? Yeah, no, you need linear algebra. You need matrix. Yeah. So any of the math gaps that you have, the next thing that you should do is learn this. And Quiet will definitely approve of this because it's very math knowledge. Yeah, we out here. Oh my God, people are gonna get so smart. Like it's incredible to think that. Yeah, I love matrix stuff too. It's so incredible for me to think like I need the like blog posts, blog ideas. Maybe we just bang out. Oh, do I bang out like a blog post right now? And then just show people like what my workflow is. Man, no, I don't want to use my brain all that much right now. At least we'll do that. Okay, so let's see. I don't want to get too distracted here. Okay, so I was gonna look at LangChain. Oh, okay, we're talking about it. Son of a bitch. What a tangent. So these are ideas, questions, answers. Very powerful. Okay, right. Okay, so very powerful reasoning engine, LLM. How do you make use of that? How do you now take that ability and now weaponize it? Because all we have is text, right? That's where we were. So if all we have is text, we need to build primitives on top of that. And so that's what LangChain is trying to do. So essentially what it is, it's a Python thing that you install, right? So it's a Python library. You have to do all this like setup. It's like this weird setup. I'm sorry, not weird. This is standard Python setup. I'm not complaining yet. Import this, type this in just to do this. Now, in my opinion, let's see, before I vent like this, we're going to have to go to the GitHub repo maybe. Yeah. So in my opinion, documentation has failed. I will repeat, documentation has failed. And this is like, in my opinion, the perfect way to code. Now, I understand limitations of languages and whatnot. Python, you have to do this. In my opinion, if you can't in one click or like, like 2 clicks or whatever, like have an example up and running that you can play with, you're failing in documentation. Now, this is a programming rant. This is not an AI rant. But Go and other things, other languages that let you run examples in the browser are like correct. JavaScript, I'll give JavaScript credit. You can run JavaScript stuff in the browser, and there's a lot of things that have cropped up. So code sandbox, I guess. It's like you always need like a code sandbox, like experience at least. This is my programming rant. Okay, docs. I don't know. You've seen it if you've been around, right? This thing, you've seen it. You've used it. This is great. I can play with the code. And I think it's just JavaScript or whatever, but I've never see that for Python. So Python already is just like, yeah, I don't like it. It's an okay language, but just, it's really annoying. And I understand everyone knows Python. A lot of people know Python, actually. JavaScript's much better. And actually, funny enough, people are recreating LangChain in JavaScript, and they did that like instantly. I think LangChain should have been initially written in JavaScript versus Python, but all ML stuff is Python, so it's like these worlds colliding, and now everyone's confused because it's like you have all the ML people that do Python, and then you have all the people that actually get shit done, the engineers that write JavaScript, and then it's like them fighting over this, like, what community do you go to build ideas? So I just find it funny. And this stuff's going to continue to happen, by the way, because Python is a difficult language to support like a large company scale, or even just like smaller. Like, I don't like Python. All of the refactoring tools and stuff, it's just like not good. And the module thing's confusing, and you have to do like, is it pip? Is it conda? Like, I've never used conda. Is that like a Windows thing? Who knows? Actually, someone knows. But anyway, cool. So we copy and paste all this code. Now I'm back from my programming rant. So copy and paste all this code, and then boom, prompt template. What does prompt template let you do? We've introduced this new fundamental idea on top of what I was showing you with ChatGPT, because now we can use templates. And now a template, we've basically made a function. So prompt.format, prompt chain. Okay, whatever. All right, quiet's peeing. Excellent. So prompt template, we've made a function that can take an input variable product, put it through this thing, this text, and now prompt is going to look like that. How do you run it? I actually don't know. To be honest, I think I've only used LangChain all of a few times, but I've used it enough for me to know that it kind of is annoying to use LLMs, and it should be used very sparingly. So openai, temperature, products, cool, chain. Why is this? I feel like they made this way more confusing than it needed to be. So you import a chain, and now you have chain is equal to LLM chain with the LLM openai prompt, that prompt. And now we can do chain.run. And then so that seems, why can't it just be a template? Why can't I just say prompt.run? Am I missing something? Oh, because the API doesn't have this by default? Terrible experience. I do not like this. It's still confusing. Like, I still had to like mentally run through that. Agents dynamically call chains based on user input. Oh man. I'm going to have to open the code so I can continue my rant. Agents dynamically call chains based on user input. So pip install, Google search results, OS environ, that stuff, this stuff, that stuff. Load tools. SERP. So there's our tools. And then we have LLM. Cool. Okay, so OpenAI is our LLM that we are setting there. We have load tools, which comes from agents. Next, let's load some tools to use. Note that LLM math tool uses an LLM, so we need to pass that in. It uses an LLM? What? Why is this so I don't... Is this just to run things that can use Google and LLMs? Why are those strings? What if they change? What if their name changes or something? I don't know. Yeah, it is funny. The LLM math thing, just to do math. Initialize agent.run. Like, I feel like this is so much code to do something that mentally is just so simple. Conversation chain. I mean, it's not terribly complicated, but I feel like it's complicated enough to kind of scare people away, like kids that aren't that familiar with Python. OpenAI conversational chain. Conversation predict input. Hi there. Like, I don't want to have to read all of this stuff to understand what it's doing, but I guess we have to. So far, all the chains and agents we've gone through have been stateless, but often you may want to chain an agent or concept of memory. Designing a chatbot. Okay, so to be fair, okay. This is good description. I like the description on this. I think this is a great introduction to these concepts of LLM. So in my opinion, I think they just need do they have a concepts page? Am I talking up my ass? Oh, this is annoying though. This is like too detailed. I need like more abstracted details. Chains, like this is so terse. What the fuck is system message prompt template? The code is going to kill me, isn't it? J'ai programmeur. I love programming. I am a Frenchman. Agents with chat models. All right. Okay. Add state chains to agents. Fantastic. Great. All of these tutorials, it's just like so unappealing to me, I guess. Like, I just want to go now. I just want to have like these ideas that I want, like send the link to what? Link to what? Quiet this thing. Oh, I guess we'll link LangChain there too. Sure. Oh no, quiet, your world is melting. Hold on. Awesome. Well, good luck to quiet on your journey. Prompts. Okay, I feel like this is so confusing. Not confused. I'm sorry. I'm just talking shit. It's Python. It's easy. I understand. Create a prompt template. Boom, boom. Tell me a joke. Great. Ugh. Why does it visually look so confusing? Input variables. Okay, maybe I need a specific goal in mind. Okay, I want to get JSON out. How do I get JSON out of this? Let's see, that might be a JSON. There we go. prompt template? No, not prompt template. No. This is miserable. Selector? Well, ChatGPT actually updated their API recently. Oh wait, does that work right now actually? OpenAI for developers. Read documentation. GPT function calling. Okay, now here we go. OpenAI, they know what's up. They know how to make documentation. So look at this. I can copy and paste this and it should run. That's a one click, basically couple click thing. And sure, I'll install OpenAI. That's not a big deal. That's how you write an example. Boom, look at that. It's just like, for some reason, this just looks so much cleaner to me. And then the example output, like that, I also love that because it just gives me like this quick view. Or that's the response format. Okay, that's sure. That's fine. Well, now really what I want, if I'm reading this as a programmer, I want like the schema, so I can just like quickly include it. And I don't think I'm probably gonna get that. So that's chat plugins, embeddings, quick start, libraries. Okay, I guess you can use that. That's fair. Those bindings. And I'm sure that that's what I was being shown over here. I don't want completions. Kind of function call. The model decided to call a function. What does a function call look like? Run conversation. Oh, okay. Oh, sick. There you go. So those are functions. And then message.get. That's so sick. Call the function. Get current weather. Yeah, there you go. And then that's the function to call. So now you can make like your own plugins using built on ChatGPT. So really, truly, this is all leading up to like why protoflow is going to win out. Like it's why protoflow is going to suck up all the AI stuff. So now that OpenAI has let you call functions, let the reasoning engine call functions that it determines to run. Now you can, you can just toss things around. Like you have an idea. So I'm talking right now. I'm recording my audio. You could transcribe it and then just make one of those things that I showed. Right, this prompt engineering. It's so important. I can't stress enough how important prompt engineering is. Like it is a skill to learn, and you have to just spend time doing it. But if you really want the most bang for your buck right now in terms of like building up, like skilling up in the world of AI, like prompt engineering and just asking questions, because you have to remember we had to reinvent our vocabulary when Google searching. I don't know if people really realize this, but I mean, I'm sure some people did. But to get better results out of Google, I feel like most people know by now. I feel like my parents doing it, like where they know they have to change what they're saying for Google. But with ChatGPT, you don't have to change the way that you normally talk, and that's huge, because it's just so much more inclusive. Anyone can use this, right? No matter who you are. And it's going to be really important for localization of these models, because what's going to happen is like you're going to lock out certain people that don't have as well supported of a language. But I think actually Facebook released this, the multi-language thing, multi-language Facebook model. Yeah, so this is huge. This is so important. This is so important for things like this to exist, because it continues to make everything inclusive. But then again, it's like, how is it translating? Is it a bad translation? But anyway, the point that I was building up to here is prompt engineering very important. And then when you want to start building things with AI, you are going to have to, I mean, unfortunately right now, learn LangChain. It's just like, you're going to have to sit down, go through the docs, and just try stuff out. So, I mean, I can read through the code, but in reality, what I would start doing here, which I don't want to do, frankly, because I don't like LangChain. I'm basically building my own version of LangChain. Like, I've seen enough to understand what it is. So you're going to have to go through, get these examples, right? Get your environment up and running, try them out. That's like the best advice I can give. But people are spending a lot of time right now on like vector stores, and it's like look at all of this. What the fuck is this? This is all doing the same thing. Look how many things are doing the same exact thing right now. And really, in my opinion, it is distracting from the fact that truly all you need right now is PG vector. If you want, unless you're doing to scale, and it is like insane scale that you need, like start with PG vector, store your embeddings in just Postgres. You can do it. Like, just do it. It's like lesser known, but I think Supabase just released that. Supabase vector. Yeah, there you go. They got it. So yeah, just follow these directions, and like, there you go. You can start using it. So let's see. So vector stores, right? Distracting a lot of people, in my opinion, unless you like really are pushing it. Like Chroma, I guess, is fine. They're all open source, but also you have to think about simplicity and things just running. And I don't know. I mean, maybe Chroma's been nailing it. I could see them nailing it and just having good production. They're a YC company, I believe. Retrievers. So people are really. This is another thing that's kind of a can of worms. So what I really wish you could see in the documentation is like suggested flows of like which things to use for common stuff, and like full examples of that. And you know who actually does a great job of this is haystack. GitHub. What is it? Deepset Haystack. Yeah. So these are the Germans, man. And let me tell you, Germans make fantastic code. They just kind of get it. They understand. So Haystack has in my opinion, the best tutorials for building AI pipelines. And now they're not perfect, but man, do they make it like easy to follow along. And they have the collab thing there. That's what I'm talking about. That one click thing to see and play with the code you're looking at. So yeah, Haystack is a great example. It's just so annoying reading LangChain docs. It's like, it's pulling my hair out. It's really not that great, but it's like, it's so new. So I understand, but, yeah, like what are you supposed to do with this information? Like what? And so like getting started, and then what? I'm just on document loaders now. I know I'm shitting on the LangChain docs, but it's really truly like the docs are kind of a mental blocker for me, because like I don't want to have to spend time becoming an expert in LangChain. Like it's just, agents. It's like, I guess I understand. Anyway, I'm complaining way too much. I don't like complaining. But anyway, you're gonna have to sit down and learn LangChain. I do not want to. But hopefully it's like if you have questions, I'm always around. If like in the Discord and stuff, if people have questions about using LangChain, like I'll help. But man, I don't want to look at those docs unless if someone really asks about it. So anyway, I think that captures all of my thoughts about the matter right now. I was gonna look through. Man, it's so annoying. So I was gonna do a look through of the code because I saw some guy that was looking through the code and it's like okay, like what is it? Ants are everywhere. So I like the channel, man. He really goes for it. Like let's just read source code, and he has 5,000 subscribers. And it's just him reading source code, and I guess that one didn't get as many views, but he got one that was like 1,000 views for reading Quake's source code. And I'm like, man, I could probably, like, AI, everyone loves AI. What if I just try to do the same? But I think now, like, what I'm realizing is, like, the thing that people really need to see is just, like, fundamentals. Like, AI is a new skill, and you just need to sit down and focus on, like, stuff like prompt engineering, you know, maybe playing around with a little bit of LangChain, but, like, just try to let your ideas run wild, I guess, with AI. Like, don't try to focus on it. And I think I don't want to like really read the code because I think people really just want to hear or really need to hear that don't go so. It's really easy. I guess it's really easy to fall into a loop with AI stuff, and it can't, like, LangChain could be a distraction, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If you're like building your own company or wanting to build your own apps, like, I understand if you've made money, if you've raised money using like LangChain for your whole stack, like, good for you. I just think as you scale, you might start hitting pain points, because I've already kind of seen it a bit with companies. But anyway, I guess I really truly just want to talk about protoflow. I really just need to talk about protoflow. Wait, quiet says wait. I'll wait. What just happened? I don't know. If quiet, what happened? Right now, how do I separate these? Archive tab. Separate tab. There you go. All right, so protoflow, my baby. So right now, I don't like that dev requires 2 commands to bring this up. You have to do npm run dev and then this. But it is okay. It's 2 commands. It's not the end of the world. But I spent some time so that I don't have to run this command anymore. This a reload, I was using it for like live reload. But because it's Go, you can just like copy the code that command was and then include it very minimally into here. So if you do like -dev, it setups like live reloading. And that's just in the code, so it makes it easy. But anyway, protoflow. Fucking protoflow. So how does LangChain and protoflow relate to each other is probably an excellent question to talk about. So I do not like when I'm sketching out ideas to have to like write code or determine if I want to be spending time like writing my ideas down on like pen and paper, or like typing them, what I do in my notes, or like write code, because sometimes to validate your perceptions about something you need to like write code. So I want to write the least code as possible because it is the most malleable thing that you can write as an engineer, but it's higher cognitive overhead than writing your ideas down. So this was a very important thing that I learned while working at Uber, is the value of RFCs and putting your ideas out there and getting them refined. So to me, the most important thing that protoflow in its like full capacity is going to capture is very quickly taking a rough idea, a sketch, something you have, an idea that you have, concepts that you've thought about, and channeling those into parts that move. So I'm literally talking about like vocalizing and having like a robot do something based off of what you said. So right, like you can manually program something like when the robot sees something in front of it, it is going to turn around. And so by talking and having like blocks or things that you can, connect, so you could have, right, that thing that I said get transcribed, and then from that transcription you can have the AI saying, hey, you are a bot that, or extract these commands if they're phrased like this, and then after that AI run. And so it's hard. I can't quite do it right now in the current state of protoflow, but that concept, that thing that I'm talking about, now that's like the programmer's job to write that thing of like extract the commands, and then from those commands actually run code, have things actually happen in the robot. You need to hook up the logical layer to the conceptual layer, so to speak, of there's a concept that I'm talking about, but you need to extract the relevant information to have something happen, such as the action. And so by pairing those two things up very easily, you can have like this killer thing. So what you're looking at here with protoflow is this is an actual Discord bot. So I wrote a Discord bot using protoflow, and it's actually functional. And what it's capable of doing is this input. It's currently broken. Son of a gun. So this input, I believe, takes like a channel ID or something like that. And let's get rid of this for now. So this takes like a channel ID. It's broken, but whatever. From there, it's we're instructing the Discord API code that I have written to read messages from that channel. And so this is going to now, the colors don't show up, and it's not whatever, or it's not like visually representing what it does, but this is a streaming service. So once that starts running, it runs more or less indefinitely until the connection closes, but that will continue to run. And then every time it experiences a message from the Discord server, it sends that to the next block. So it's basically, this is going to run, continue to run, and then it's going to shoot out messages. So what you've done is you've separated that code, which normally you would write all in the same service, but like in two separate things. So now if you wanted to start with the idea of like, well, on every Discord message you can do this, that's what this section of code is. Right? You can configure this block to listen on a channel ID. I'm sure there's more parameters that you need, but once you configure that block to run, you can have that run, and then you can collect, like basically listen for topics like a Kafka stream. And you can collect all of this stuff and do something with it. So in this scenario, I don't know what the hell record message is. I think that just prints it out. But then it forwards that message on to then summarize. Oh, you know what this does? This will collect 100 messages, And once it has collected 100, then it passes that along to summarize, which will now summarize all of those messages. And I think I have it set to like 100. So once read messages has emitted 100 events, I'm going to ask the AI to summarize it and then send a message to Discord. Now, the name's not that great, but, and then this writes the message. Name's not that great, but like hopefully you can understand the power of that, because this whole thing that I just wrote here, that can be something that I write a description for. And from that description, someone else who says that they want to write a Discord bot, you can, because you've generally represented what that algorithm is in like a a computer readable way, you can, wait for it. No more water. Oh no, we have a little bit. I need some water. You can build your own ideas. You can make your own app come to life by literally just speaking, I guess is like really what I'm trying to work for, because if this can be represented as text, you can do like a search, right, for all Discord bots that have been written, all Discord bots that deal with messages, right? Because it has those things. So that's like the ultimate idea, is that you can speak and your app can start to be built because people have built things like this with using protoflow. But in order to make that happen and build that system up, there's a lot of prerequisites, such as improving the at least the visual component to me, like the visual component of like describing what these things are. So maybe like if I click on this, I can get an AI summary of the code, as well as maybe a code location that I can click on, something like that. So that's like the gold standard in my opinion. But currently what I'm working on right now is if you create a new custom function, so this is like the JavaScript service, I'm going to make like a new function, and then there's no types, there's no type information about it. So if we do this and show proto, so this is the type of that service. So it's the read messages method, and then that's the input and output, and then right, accepts channel, last message ID isn't used, but then this is the contents of the message. So that is the schema that will be passed to this. So unfortunately, I guess it's broken right now, but what I'm looking to do with this is, because this is a custom function type, you should be able to like click a button and say like infer type. And what infer type will do is look at the parent in the workflow that's calling it, and then look at the child, the thing that it calls. And that's really not parent and child, it's like predecessor or ancestor and something, successor. Anyway, look at these blocks, look at the type information. That's also broken. Oh, because it's not live. So look at these two blocks, and then based off the input and output types for them respectively, so like look at the output type of this, the response, set that as the type for this, so you can like connect them together, and then the inference will take over what the type of the block is. So now what that lets you do, ladies and gentlemen, is in your code you can generate your type hints for your code, so you can see what the input of it and like what the expected output is. So in your code you have type safety all by just like connecting blocks together. So I think that's going to be a really nice feature. There are some things that I need to figure out though. So so the channel ID comes in on the first input. Now when read messages get called, it just returns what the message is. Now there is the channel ID technically in the message, and you could like return it through. But if one of these blocks doesn't return, like summarize, that's the problem. So summarize is code from like the whatever server, lunabrain server. And so summarize is so actually this is basically a LangChain primitive that I recreated. So I'm recreating the LangChain primitives in the project called like lunabrain. So It's just a stupid thing, and the docs are really not that good. But there is some blog posts that we have up there that I encourage you to read. So maybe I can put that in the chat. So that's that. I'm building these primitives. Yeah, anyway. So back to this channel ID whole problem. So that's the channel ID. That goes in here. But if we look at the type for this does not return channel ID. And so when you go to subsequently write a message, writing a message requires a channel ID. So we have this problem of losing what the channel ID is. And so currently the solution is the solution that we did with refinery, RIP, and we introduced the idea of a backpack. Now, a backpack is basically any one of these blocks can like return some additional information that can be like saved aside, and the backpack persists for the whole workflow. Now, that's not the most ideal, but it technically works. Really, the way that it should be is that when you write code, you declare your dependencies of what you need. So you have like something like you expect the channel ID. And so if you declare what those dependencies are, then when you do something like this, right, because input has channel ID and last message ID, format message doesn't, it just has the message, you can pair those up, and then write message has all of the requirements that it needs to run. So the real big thing that needs to change to get this working is I can't have primitive types in the base of the type, because it just kind of makes it more difficult to provide data. So when I connect input here, input has, what does it have? No, whatever. Input is going to take on its type. It's going to declare what its type is, and then write message is going to accept that, whatever that type is. Right? Is that going to work? It's going to be tricky. Can't do backpack though. You really kind of have to do this way. It's going to be tricky. It's going to require some trial and error, I think. Anyway, that's going to have to all be sorted out. It's an interesting problem. But anyway, I think I'm going to call it there. I'm starting to get a little tired. Need some ice cream. But I hope everyone the best. And yeah. I'm so tired. I just came back from vacation and now I'm back in the saddle. Anyway, we'll go.